In this video, we're going to be discussing the end cutscene for ZETSUBOU no SHIMA and what exactly takes place, especially during the second half. Now, as we all know, we have to go and kill the original versions of our characters. We have Eisendrache with Dempsey, and now we have Takeo in ZETSUBOU no SHIMA. Now, the story of how Takeo 1.0 came to be in this prison cell underneath the layers of ZETSUBOU no SHIMA is an interesting one. In Eisendrache, we had paper scraps around the map which made a letter from Takeo addressed to the Emperor, talking from the perspective of Takeo 1.0, who was sent to this island as a spy to investigate on the experimentations and testing that Division 9 were doing. Takeo 1.0 stayed here for several months, and the Division 9 group became very suspicious of his behavior and activity on the island, so took away all of his weapons, and he was left stuck here as he was waiting for the Emperor to give him a further instruction. Several months passed and we've had no idea what happened until now, completing this Easter egg, and it seems that Takeo 1.0 has been captured by the Division 9 group to be experimented on with the use of Element 115 with human testing. That is why during the boss fight, Takeo 1.0 is actually the huge tree boss monster which we shoot the arms off during the fight. Now, in a strange turn of events, the Emperor actually sent Takeo 1.0 to be punished and stayed in this cell. This of course comes as a shock to Origins Takeo, as we know full well throughout Zombies that Takeo is incredibly loyal to the Emperor. And with both Takeos wanting to stay honorable to the Emperor, it's this bombshell which really strikes a chord with Origins Takeo, as his entire kind of journey up till now has been a complete lie. The Emperor is the sole reason why Takeo went to Origins in the first place and has now been strung along on this crazy time traveling journey. Just like in Eisendrache, we killed original Dempsey, and here we're about to kill original Takeo. Now, just like Dempsey, where he'd done the killing, Takeo also does the same to himself by performing a ritual suicide called seppuku. This is a ritual suicide by disembowelment carried out by samurai, and it literally means stomach cutting, where the samurai committing seppuku would shove a dagger such as a katana into their stomach, while another samurai acted as their second by chopping off their head. Probably one of the more gory scenes we've seen in Zombies today, and somehow Takeo has two samurai swords? I don't quite understand that one, Triarch. Now, after the suicide has taken place, his soul is sucked up by the summoning key, and then something very, very interesting happens. If you're enjoying the video so far, by the way, definitely drop it a like rating. We're about to get very, very crazy here. Now, after this, we hear Dempsey say, 3 down, 1 to go. You must be next, Nikolai. And Richtofen says, not yet. There is a chain of events that must be set in motion. We then see a white screen and then a rift teleporting screen, and we're back in ZETSUBOU no SHIMA. All seems well and quite normal until afterwards Dempsey says, well, I wasn't expecting that. And Richtofen says, call it our insurance policy in case we don't like where we end up. Now, during that quick flash and then the rift teleportation screen, the characters have teleported and done something. Now, where exactly they went is a complete mystery, but we're going to speculate about this. Upon entering the map again, all 4 players now possess a set of blood vials. Richtofen still has the same Mob of the Dead blood vials which relate to Sal and Finn from Mob of the Dead on Alcatraz, and Takeo, Dempsey and Nikolai all possess a pair of blood vials each. So during this sequence, it appears that the blood of potentially 3 or 6 characters has been extracted, and the players now possess them for a reason we aren't sure of yet. Now, whatever the insurance policy Richtofen is referring to is directly correlated to that event where they quickly teleported somewhere, collected these blood vials, and have now returned. That of course all happened in the blink of an eye, as they returned back to ZETSUBOU no SHIMA a second after they left. Now that they have these blood vials, they can now go on to Stalingrad and collect Nikolai's soul. Now, if we see that in the next DLC, or if we see the place where our characters teleported to and collected these blood vials for the next DLC, is another question we don't have the answer for. Now, there are a ton of speculation going on right right now onto who exactly the blood vials are from, and I definitely want to make more than one video talking about this because there is more than one possibility, but the idea I have right now seems to be, in my mind at least, the most concrete. I feel the blood vials for Nikolai, Dempsey and Takeo that they're carrying around right now are blood from another version of themselves. There is a possibility that any of the actions that they do in the future with all the trans-dimensional travel that they're doing could affect something in a very bad way. The entire fabric of space-time could collapse and their existence could be in jeopardy if they make the wrong moves. Based on the quote from Richtofen about the insurance policy, it sounds to me that they've drawn blood from another version of themselves, so in case the worst was to happen, they have the DNA to create another version of themselves. In ZETSUBOU no SHIMA, we have the ability to clone players by growing a special type of plant with element 115, so it's definitely not out of the picture. And there is an underwater cipher where you turn the power on that says this message. Richtofen must understand that using these teleporters to jump between dimensions is both dangerous and imprecise. At any point, the fabric of space-time could collapse if the proper amounts of 115 are not maintained. I'm also concerned about the unknown effects of trans-dimensional jumps. I've noticed even with my brief travels that new memories and emotions have flooded my mind, suddenly appearing from nowhere. I'm also sure something is happening on a molecular level as well. This cipher helps explain why our characters are slowly progressing into the versions of the 1.0 from Black Ops 1, where memories and emotions from a different universe are colliding with the current universe we are in. And that final line saying something happening on a molecular level as well is that through all the trans-dimensional jumps, it is changing their DNA. As well as the clone plants, Division 9 experimented heavily on humans, changing their DNA. And with all the traveling that our characters are doing through different dimensions, it is affecting them in many ways. Now, wherever the blood vials came from, Richtofen had to create a tear originally in ZETSUBOU no SHIMA to take us to this very dimension, and we could only return to ZETSUBOU no SHIMA as the tear was created in ZETSUBOU no SHIMA. Much like in Shadows of Evil, you have to open the rift tears to teleport to the underground parts of the city, and going back through those rifts takes you back to the city. Now, if it is the blood from their future selves, we could possibly see this in either DLC 3 or DLC 4. I'm highly expecting it to be in DLC 4, as DLC 3 should be us traveling to Stalingrad and getting the soul of Nikolai. The story has been pretty simple ever since we learned of the premise of collecting the original character's souls. We're expecting to travel to Stalingrad for Nikolai, but with these blood vials, we could see a little bit of a change here. The possibility of the uses of these blood vials and who they are from is literally endless. In my opinion, the line that Richtofen says about the insurance policy makes me want to believe that the blood vials are the blood from their own future selves, which is set up and will be in place in their possession just in case the worst is going to happen, just like a normal real life insurance policy would work. Please let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. This is one of the biggest twists we've had in Black Ops 3 Zombies so far, and with this bombshell, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I'm extremely excited to see the consequences of this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like rating on it. I really would appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe for even more videos like this speculating on the storyline and even more story from ZETSUBOU no SHIMA, and I'll catch you on another video very, very soon.